You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, you weirdos. Jim here, and it's time once again to put away last week's comics. Pretty lame, those comics. You're lame, comics. That's what I'm saying to them right now. I'm pointing, I'm shaking my finger at them. Get out of here, lame comics. We're going to look forward to the upcoming week's comics, the week that most of the comics will drop on May 8th, 2024. And I'll tell you right now, I'm already looking at the list, and I think it's going to be a pretty good week. We kind of need that, right? Even when me and Gray ended up doing our best of the week show, we were really getting upset. The idea that we only had 3 books, and really at one point we had 1, and I don't need that anymore. I want to actually like comics because I actually love comics. So I hope that a lot of these hit. And if you are new to the show, welcome to the show. Maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. But also, let me tell you the rules here. These aren't books that I know are great because I haven't read them yet. I'm not like some reviewers that, kind of do reviews without reading the books, or maybe not understand them, it seems, at points. But so some of these might be stinkers. Some of these might be great. And I may not have on this list some books that everybody else is looking forward to. And so with all that, these are number ones, things that I do think I like or looking forward to, but also things that, kind of pique my curiosity. But that's just me. I would love if everybody listening goes and puts in the comments the books that they are looking forward to, that they're anticipating. And it's not just for everybody or me or whatever, it's for us all. And I think that it's one of those things where, you kind of don't realize something's coming out or that something's good. So please let everybody know what you're looking forward to, especially if it's something that I don't mention and something that maybe a lot of people don't. Maybe we can get some, things going and people can, branch out and read some things. And there is a book by the end of this show that I will tell everybody is a book that I would have never have read except for the show. I ended up doing the show the one week and a bunch of people, including Gray, said, oh, you got to read this book. And I ended up falling in love with it. Unfortunately, it ends this week. It kind of makes me sad. I jumped in late, but still ended up really, really liking it. But here is the format here. We're going to start with DC Comics, then we'll do Marvel, then we'll do Indie. And each one, I will give you the title, the creative team, the price, and I'll read the solicit and maybe throw a little bit of peanut gallery nonsense in there as well. But we'll start with DC Comics, and we'll start with Batman number 147, written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Jorge Jimenez. It is $4.99. And before I even read the solicit, I know a lot of people are down with it. And I don't mean like down as in cool. I mean they're down as in bad, right? And I don't mean bad as in good. I mean bad as in bad. You get me? I know a lot of people are not enjoying the Chip Zdarsky deal. I'm back and forth. It feels like the book has been delayed or something. It feels like the last issue was so long ago. I just want to get on board because this whole Zurin R fail-safe robot deal will be part of the Absolute Power with Amanda Waller. So I want to get this story, this Dark Prisons. I want this to hit. Obviously, it's Batman. You would love for Batman to be one of the best books out there. But I also want to see what's going on with Zornar and the fail-safe deal. So here is the solicit. With no allies, no weapons, and almost no hope, can Batman fight back before Zor makes a true devil's bargain? Is he playing the devil's hand? I don't know. I don't like to say Zur like I'm like a personal level with him like that. I don't like that. The world is about to know Zur's true power. I don't know why they keep pushing that. It actually looks weird. Him and his new sidekick. Oh no, Damian Wayne. We'll see. Damian seems like he's on the case. That he's like, I don't know about Robot Daddy. It says Dark Prisons continues then. It's such a weird concept. And I want to get behind it, but I need it to grab me a little more. And hopefully it does. And the Jorge Jimenez art is great. So hopefully the story kind of catches up. Chip Zdarsky's book, his run on Batman, the one thing that you can say about it is it's just so disjointed. you end up having things, even things beyond his control, like a Night Terrors with a K last Summerween, but also Gotham War and all these other. Then you had Joker Year One. Like, it's a lot of things are his fault too, but just seems disjointed. And I want to get back to just a strong story, a strong Batman story, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure a lot of people are shaking their head at me already. The next one is The Boy Wonder #1. Oh my, it's written and art by Junie Ba. I'm not real familiar with Junie Ba. I don't know if Junie Ba, guy, girl, something in between. I have no idea, but I did see the art. At first glance, I kind of like, I didn't wince, but I kind of went, ooh, like, what's that? But I'm telling you, I looked at it a little more, and then this was like the other day, and then tonight I looked at it again. I'm like, no, it seems a little quirky. Maybe I could get behind that, right? Here is, now it's $5.99, by the way, so it's a little bit more pricey. Holding the line at $5.99. Luckily, it's not like that distillery stuff. They're holding the line at, I think, sometimes at $16.79 or something. The year, I mean. The young Prince Damian Wayne was raised to be the heir to the fearsome League of Assassins, to follow the footsteps of his deadly mother Talia and the demon's head himself, his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul. But everything changed when his father, the Batman, reclaimed him and brought him back to Gotham City. As Robin, young Damian suddenly discovered he was merely one of the number of princes, oh my, preceded in the role by his brothers Nightwing, Red Hood, and Red Robin. And Damian doesn't care to be merely anything. I'd like to be Prince. Well, I guess he's not really alive, so that would be tough. But when his father, I'd like to dance like him. I'm not a good dancer. But when his father is forced to leave the city on urgent business, and a rash of abductions is accompanied by whispers of a demon stalking Gotham's dark alleys, Damian will find himself battling alongside his adopted brothers, and in the process, learning what the mantle of Robin really means. It's a heck of a solicit. Visionary artist, writer Junie Ba makes his mark, so there, it's his mark, on the timeless story of Batman and Robin, synthesizing the character's complex history into an accessible and heart-trending fairy tale. You know what synthesizers I like are like 80s new wave. Those are the ones I like. Maybe this too, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. It's a Black Label book, by the way. Not in continuity, I guess. But that way you can play around with some things. But it seems like it's going kind of close to the vest there, you know, with that whole deal. And one of the things that me and my man Eric, who do the DC Comics podcast, had been yelling for since even the New 52 is a Robin's book that would be pretty good. I know we had that one, I think it might have been Tim Seeley, that Robin's book. I didn't like that. I want something a little better. Maybe this will be it. Maybe. We'll see. But those are the two books from DC. We're going to keep this rolling. We're going to go over to Marvel Comics. Obviously, the big thing going on at Marvel Comics right now is Blood Hunt. I was going to joke and say something else, but it is Blood Hunt. I ended up, if you haven't seen my review for Blood Hunt, some people were giving me some crap. They liked it more than I did. I tend to end up going into these things a little cautiously optimistic. And I love the idea, too, where it depends where the reviews are. If you have them like on written reviews and it's on the Comic Book Roundup and you give something a 6.5, it looks like you're the most negative person ever. Then you come over here to YouTube and half the time the 6.5 people are yelling at me that it's too high. What am I, Mr. Optimistic Johnny here? It's weird, but a lot of people like that Blood Hunt a little more than me. Doesn't mean that, I hated it. I expected more. I expected more oomph, and I expected it to get its fangs into me, as they say. But I do realize when I was getting my list together here that because of Blood Hunt, oh my God, you know what? I am looking forward to Doctor Strange number 15 to see if he is in fact ripped apart, right? That's what I want. And me and my man Matt on our Marvel podcast and here on the YouTube channel, we have been, reviewing Doctor Strange. It's been in a holding pattern for quite some time. And really at one point, it really at the end said, hey, we'll see you later down the line. And it was very similar to what just happened in the Blade book last week or the week before, the issue number 10, where it said, hey, this volume's over. Sayonara, suckers, but we'll be back with another book soon. Because, of course, Marvel's always going to have a new number one right around the corner. But it felt like that Doctor Strange book was going to end. And I think that was right around the time, and if you ask me, oh, we're going to do this Blood Hunt. Well, let's kind of do some one-shot things to make the Doctor Strange book last until Blood Hunt, because we have some things going on there. But I did point out in the review and a bunch of other places this week where I talked to some people, the idea that Doctor Strange dying, Jed MacKay have some against Doctor Strange. This is the second time it looks like he's killed him. So we'll end up seeing it. And obviously the spoiler alert, that Blade has gone bad, something that was kind of set up in the Blade run, the book that just ended by Brian Hill. A lot of people aren't reading that book. So if I don't know, you really don't have to go now. I don't think you have to go. You really didn't see anything, but his eyes did glow red in that book. Doctor Strange number 15. Can you tell I'm distracted? It is so late right now. I'm falling asleep. Doctor Strange number 15, written by Jed MacKay, art by Pasquale Ferry. Picking up immediately after the shocking events of Blood Hunt number 1. They were shocking. Who ordered the steak? Strange and Clea must help the heroes of Earth fight back against the vampire army. Strange and Clea, it says. Now, what does that mean? Oh, my. But is it already too late for our Sorcerer Supreme? No. If you look at that red band cliffhanger, yeah, I think so. But I'm looking forward to see how that goes. The next book, I'm a sucker. I put it on this list every time, almost every time, basically saying, I just want it to get good eventually. Like at some point, the broken clock, it does tell time right twice. Is that what they say? We haven't had it yet. This one, Amazing Spider-Man number 49. I don't know if you know this, but it's getting towards that 50. That's the next issue that they're, saying. I'm surprised they don't even say it here. But it is a Blood Hunt time. Written by Zeb Wells, art by John Romita Jr. I don't like to throw shade at John Romita Jr. I know a lot of people do. And to me, sometimes he gets it again. Like, ooh, he's got his groove back. And then the next thing you see, you're like, ooh, his groove was lost again. Oh, my God, you get that groove back. The cover for this Amazing Spider-Man number 49 is bad. It looks really bad, but I hope that, it does some good interiors. Vampires are running rampant through New York City, and while the Avengers are caught in the middle, someone has to take care of the citizens of the Big Apple. That person? Yup, Spider-Man. I'm glad. Actually, I wish it was Paul. Maybe this is where we get rid of Paul. Right? He gets bitten by the vampires. And who wants to turn him? They're just going to eat him. That'd be great. But if only it were that simple. I'm talking about Spider-Man, not Paul, because it is pretty simple to get rid of Paul. Push him right off of the roof. Have Mary Jane, jackpot, end up where, you do that. Actually, she should spin the wheel, and the power she gets is a freaking brain to get rid of Paul. Things never are, and this issue leads directly into Spider-Man's larger role in Blood Hunt. All right, there you go. Spider-Man, Blood Hunt. Next issue, another Blood Hunt time, because it seems like they all are. The Avengers number 14, and I've not liked the Avengers book for a while. One of the things that I pointed out in our Blood Hunt review, when you have that blood coven, that group, and they come out posing, then they're yelling at each other, but I don't know who's yelling at who and who's the smoke person and what's going on with that mummy with the barbed wire, right? It's the same exact look that we had with the Twilight Court and the Ashen Combine. I mean, almost the same exact pose off that you end up having. It's pretty bad, but hopefully this one, Blood Coven, hits, because to me, those others didn't. But it's kind of why I stopped reading Jed MacKay's Avengers, but it's tying into the Blood Hunt. I want to play along. And also with the solicit, I think people will, their ears will perk up, right? Ears will start burning. It's written by Jed MacKay, art by Carlos Fabian Villa. New team lineup debuts, or as I like to say, debuts. With the current Avengers tied up and under siege during Blood Hunt, tied up, all right, Thor has just a stake through his head. That's who ordered the steak. Captain Marvel calls for aid, of course. And who better to assemble a new team of Avengers than Steve Rogers? See, I told everybody. Captain America gathers the forces of Quicksilver, Hawkeye, Hercules, and Hazmat to take on the hordes of vampires attacking all over the world. And when they encounter an organized army of vampires in uniform led by a surprise villain, I don't think it's that much of a surprise anymore, it gets personal. Yeah. I wonder, me and my man Matt, who do the reviews for the Marvel stuff, we were talking, I wonder if people do like Hazmat. Me and Matt like Hazmat. I kind of dig Hazmat, but I don't know. I never hear anybody nobody's down at the rec center going, you know who I really like is that Hazmat. They might have to call the actual Hazmat at points, when I'm eating chili. But besides that, I haven't heard much of people talking to the character. I kind of like her, and I end up liking that team. Pretty cool. So maybe this is actually this weird breath of fresh air that this Avengers book needed, and Jed MacKay can get his groove on it, because I haven't really liked it. The next book is a book that I hated the first issue, and we weren't going to review it. The reason why I'm reviewing it, and this just shows you how petty I can be, a guy just today, as I'm recording, he ended up talking a lot of crap on the Deadpool review, like saying that, it was the worst review ever and take the L or whatever he was talking about. I looked at this guy. This guy's a smacked ass. So with that, I said to Matt, we're going to review this Deadpool #2 just to annoy him. So I'm going to put it here for anticipation, right? Deadpool #2. A lot of other people liked it as well, but most of those people, discussed it in a civil way, not a smacked ass way. See, there's different ways to do things. But again, I guess if you're trying to crack the code, if we don't review something and you kind of want it reviewed, all you have to do is finagle it out of me by talking trash. And then I just get mad. I'm like, oh, you didn't like that review? Again, I may read this issue and like it. But again, it is written by Cody Ziegler. So probably not. Art by Roger Antonio. I'm not a huge Cody Ziegler fan. I really am not. Some people like his Miles Morales. I don't even like that. I'm waiting for whatever I can get from him to like. After botching the Montreal job. Ooh, is it the Montreal screw job? Maybe. And making a new enemy out of Death Grip, Deadpool had the great idea to start his own boutique mercenary agency. Definitely his idea. Not at all Agent Gal's, because everybody loves Agent Gal. But Agent Gal can go and join up with Paul, and they can just walk off the side of the earth. But a startup is a lot of work, so Wade asked Taskmaster to run it. Their first assignment, finding out who this Death Grip is and why he's so interested in Wade. So hopefully I'll be completely wrong. I won't apologize to that guy, because I don't know if I told you, smacked ass. But I will say it's good. Hopefully it is good, because I would like to have a good Deadpool book. And one of the things, too, just as a little, tip to people, I'll just give just the tip, is what we'll call this section here, is that it's fine if you like a character. But just because you have an online name with that character in it, right? Or your icon on, say, Twitter is that character, that doesn't mean you know more about that character than anybody else. And in fact, when somebody reviews things, if somebody's a reviewer and they end up having that sort of thing, oh, Deadpool, Mumbo Jumbo is reviewing a Deadpool book, I kind of think he'll like it. I don't trust those people a lot of times, because they have that ulterior deal of I better say it's good or it'll get canceled, and I'm the only one who can save it because I'm a pretentious prick and a smack ass. That's just me. See, this show is getting a little bit more sassy than normal. So tired. I hope everybody is still around listening. I hope that you're enjoying it. I hope so, because I like to joke around. I'm not joking about that guy. That guy was a jerk. But we're going to go to indie stuff. I hope I would be the best if he's listening now. So then I could just, if he is right now, I shouldn't. You're a smacked ass, you jerk. All right, back to the show. Indie books, because that's it for the Marvel. Indie. We're going to start with Crocodile Black. Crocodile Black #1, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Art by, it says Sam, on the cover of the book, but it's Somnath Paul. Pretty cool name. And it is from Boom Studios, and I believe it might be $3.99. For some reason, this doesn't have... I have all these things set up, and this one does not have the price. Let's go over here to see if I can find a price. Can't. Well, why can't I find a price? Maybe it's free. You just tell if you go in and you're going to get this. Oh, it's $4.99. I just found it. It's not free. I was going to tell you to go to the comic store and just tell whoever's running that comic store that I said it was free. And then if they're like, who's that? You better know who he is, or he'll call you a smacked ass is what he'll do. He's sassy. I like Philip Kennedy Johnson. I'm not really digging the Hulk book, even with the return of Nick Klein. That last issue, I thought it was still a little off. I thought we're still meandering. And the idea that it went to the Strange Academy and only uses it as like kind of a surface level set piece, that's not my thing. But this Crocodile Black could be. Here we go. What makes someone turn to crime, especially in a modern pandemic-riddled dystopia? I'll tell you what it is. Not having money. I'll tell you all about that. Or having 5 kids and not having money. That's worse. Danny, a seemingly mundane young man lost in escapism, is that when you're in those rooms and you have to with a spiraling lack of control over his life, witnesses something during a delivery job that will change him forever, turning things as dark as the black crocodile skin boots that he can't take his eyes off of. I would never buy crocodile skin boots, and not because I'm like, oh my God, those poor crocodiles. I would look like a jerk. I would really look stupid in them, I'm telling you. Again, I don't know that many people that could probably pull them off themselves, but I know I would look stupid. In this criminal thriller from Eisner-nominated writer Philip Kennedy Johnson, that must hurt to have the nominate. I think I was nominated 3 times at one point, but Philip Kennedy Johnson, and I guess they changed the name, but that Last God, that could have won something, and the War World stuff, pretty good, but he didn't win. He's nominated. And also, rising star artist, at least they didn't say hotshot, Somnath Paul from Brigands. The morally gray turns to cold-blooded murder. See, if you say the morally gray, I think you have to do something with the morally gray turns to cold, hard, red blood. Like, I think you need to go with the colors. Didn't sound good the way I said it, though. So here is the book that I was talking about earlier, I think, that I ended up picking up because people suggested it, including Gray. But it's Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. It's issue number 6. It's the finale, and it really upsets me because I'm really into it. I only got into it a couple issues ago because everybody suggested it. So I caught up, loved it, read it. And for me to read any sort of thing like that, like when I say I marathon something, that usually means I got through 10 pages. Like that's my marathoning because of my awful, awful ADHD. I say that, I know some people are like, oh, here he goes. I ended up, when I went to the doctor and then they're doing these tests, it was like lights went on and their eyes got bright, like they were going to use me as some test subject in some crazy book or something, because my one doctor said that he has never seen, this attention deficit any close to being as worse as what mine is. And I'm like, and he was saying it almost like it should have been a compliment, but it's not a compliment. I'm like, and also when he's saying this, suddenly he looks and I'm like climbing out the window. I didn't even know what he was saying. He's eating a burger, something. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, number 6, is written and arted by Patrick Horvath. Pretty good. At the end of this issue, someone will die. I will tell you too, and when the Boom sends out the stuff, and I think is it Boom? Now I'm saying that. No, it's IDW. Some of these things that I have don't have any info. The IDW, they send out stuff all the time. You could go, this one, legitimately, like, you cannot let this out until the day of release because they're keeping it undercover. At the end of this issue, someone will die. There's no way to avoid it, so we simply won't try. Ooh, it's a rhyme. A horrific plan drives the fate of our bear, and unspeakable actions will give quite a scare. Join us now as we finally lift the veil, as this, my friends, is the end of our story. It says tale. I could have wrapped that if we really wanted to. About an hour from now, I probably would have. It's pretty late. Yeah, I do a little beatbox. I'm telling you, I think that this episode is to just get everybody away. Everybody's leaving. Geiger number 2 is next. The first issue of Geiger, I think that a lot of people thought the same as me. I hope. But it was that, yeah, I liked getting Geiger back, but it was more to get a lot of people who hadn't read Geiger up to speed. If you were already up to speed, then you're kind of waiting for the speed to get to you. Now the speed is with us, and I hope that we get forward going because some of the cool things in that could be cool. Geiger number 2 is written by Jeff Johns, art by Gary Frank. It's Image Comics. It's $3.99. The unnamed saga continues. Tariq Geiger, his two-headed wolf Barney, and their surprising newfound companion begin their quest along the radioactive roads of the former United States to find a cure for the glowing man's nuclear-powered condition. But in order to obtain the information they need, Geiger's crew must first help a local sheriff catch and kill a masked raider that's pillaging the town. I would say the masked raider is Marcus Allen. But what Geiger ultimately discovers chills him to his glowing green bones, and the electrician isn't far behind. That is true. Plumber's probably there as well, and maybe like the contractor. They're all coming. They all are. Their eyes are glassy. That's a joke. The next book is a book that I think everybody loves and everybody can dance along to, and it is the last book of the show, thank God. I apologize, everybody. I really do. I don't know. You might even think that I'm drunk, but I don't drink, so that's not the case. I am just so tired. That is, things get goofy. Transformers, number 8. Number 8, written by Daniel Warren Johnson, art by Jorge Corona, Image Comics, $3.99, worth every damn penny. That one is. I wish that this one rhymed as well, but I don't think it does. Maybe we can. What rhymes with robot? Somebody tell me. As the Autobots and the Decepticons make some tough choices to survive on Earth, I can't rhyme with that. The return of Spoiler will change the war on Cybertron forever. Oh my God, Stephanie Brown's in this? Oh, they're saying it's a spoiler. They should have said redacted, right? Redacted, not spoiler. Then people think like, Stephanie, what is this, a crossover? Holy moly, she'll come in, she's bitching and moaning that nobody calls her Robin, right? Her boyfriend left her, all problems with Stephanie Brown. She might as well jump ship. But there you go. There you go. Those are the things. And I can't wait for the Transformers. Now, just to give you the lay of the land, I already said that we're going to be doing the Deadpool book on our Marvel show, and we'll have the review for that up on the channel. We'll also have The Amazing Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Avengers. I should have all those. The DC side of things, I'm going to try to get some of the things, probably Batman and Birds of Prey. I'm hoping that gets a little better, but I'm not putting it on the most anticipated because I've been kind of down with it and I kind of pissed off at it. But the indie stuff, though, I'll be trying to do reviews and videos for all those, even though I was told that, first off, reviews don't work on YouTube. But I think that I do actually. I want to give a shout out to a lot of people. I think that people are getting involved. And I actually like that because I love reviews. I love reading reviews. I like talking about reviews and I like doing reviews. That's my thing. I don't really like, the editorial things where, I get on and start screaming and yelling and pulling my hair out. That's not my thing. I like to actually deal with an issue in front of me and then we can all kind of, get involved with that. Though I see why it doesn't work because the minute that you give a bad review to something people like, they flip out and they unsubscribe and leave. But I do think that some of the reviews are getting some look-sees. So I think that that's pretty cool. And even some of the indie stuff. So I'm going to keep doing that. Kind of, we'll probably weed it out along the way. I saw one of the things that upset me is that the Ram V Dawn Runner review, that bombed. I really thought people would be into that, especially because it is what I think it's more like Kaiju number 8, but also like Pacific Rim, Evangelion, all these things. And I don't know, people didn't seem into it, but that's that. But that is it for the show. We went on way too long. I got to go to bed, but I still have to make the video for this. I'm never going to get to bed. I should drink coffee, which it's funny too, just to go back to all my problems and whatnot. Legitimately, I could drink like 7 pots of coffee right now and probably fall asleep in the last one. Like the last drip, I just fall asleep. It doesn't do much for me, but there you go. Little personal info. I also love the Philadelphia Eagles. Long walks on the beach. Not really. You get sand in your cracks. I don't need that. But I do like me. Let's think. What could I tell you that I do like? I like hot honey right now. I've been putting hot honey on just everything that I have. Like anything I'm eating. I should brush my teeth with it. I like it so much. But hot honey on pizza, pretty good. And now, it's so late now, I say that I want to eat a hot honey pizza. And I just may. Take that, that jerk off about the Deadpool. I'm going to eat a hot honey pizza just for you, you jerk. But that's it, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Please let me know and let everybody else know what you're looking forward to, why, all of that. And please, let's all cross our fingers and hope and pray that we get a bunch, not just one, because I know the Transformers is going to be pretty good, right? And I know a couple. Let's hope for a lot of these comics to hit because they need to. A lot of people are starting to drift away from the comics. And not only do I think comics are like the best hobby, they are my only hobby. That's all I do. I love comics so much, and I want to be able to express that in videos, not always yelling about me hating stuff. So please, let's cross fingers. Let's pray. Let's hold hands. Kumbaya. Let's do it. I will talk to you all later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.